Ariana Maxima, how can a woman fill her inner void by herself? What are some practices? Beautiful question. Thank you. Thank you. And I want to acknowledge in leaning into this question, I want to acknowledge that connection is a fundamental human need, right? I'll just go back quickly to something I said earlier, is that we all come from the infinite love of the universe, right? We come from infinite unity, infinite love, and we are born into this human experience of separation. And something that comes with, the truth and the essence of who I am is infinite love, infinite unity. And yet the infinite love and the infinite unity that I come from is born into this experience of separateness and isolation, which is inherently part of the human experience, where I exist in this body, you exist in that body, and we're separate from each other. The longing for connection is part of who we are as human beings, because that longing to merge and connect is really the longing to experience the wholeness of ourselves, which is that infinite love and that infinite unity from where we come. Right? So I want to be sensitive when I talk about this, because we do talk a lot about being whole within yourself and being complete within yourself and not needing anything from anyone. And I think I need to temper that by saying within reason. And so while part of being human is that we have this deep need for longing and connection, and that is inherent in being a human being, that is like so fundamental to the essence of what a human being is, we need to blend that with the objective reality that while we have needs for and longings for connection, we are existing in an experience of separation. And so we need to develop the emotional resilience to handle experiences of separation. And so what that means is we have our needs and our longing for connection, while also not allowing them to disempower us. And so what does that really translate to? It translates to the ability to be lonely sometimes. Right? I don't want anybody to think that I'm sitting here telling you that, oh no, you can be complete within yourself and you can be happy and feel great all the time and you're never going to be lonely and you're never going to long for a relationship. No, like, we do long for a relationship. That's part of what being human is. It's longing for a relationship. But if we can develop the ability to be lonely sometimes, then we can not allow our longing for a relationship and connection to disempower us. I hope that's making sense. So, what does that look like in practical terms? Well, it looks like I make a choice for myself, and it might be a hard choice to make, especially when we're driven by the kind of wounds that we've been talking about today, when there's like unresolved stuff from our past, all of this plays into it. But I make a choice for myself that I will choose to be lonely before I choose to put myself in a position where I'm not being honored and respected and all those good things. So I will choose loneliness over that. That doesn't mean I don't want connection. That doesn't mean that when I'm alone in bed at night, I don't wish there was someone there with me. It doesn't mean I don't cry sometimes. It doesn't mean I'm not emotional about this, right? Like, all of this is part of the journey. But I would rather be lonely than be in a relationship where I'm not being honored and respected. And I would say this is an actual objective truth about life. And sometimes because of our wounding and because of our craving for love, we don't see it so clearly. But being lonely is actually it's objectively a better experience than being in a toxic relationship or being in a relationship that I'm not like truly being loved and honored in. Being lonely is actually better. It's one of the things I see with my clients, that it's like such a profound awakening for them when they go, holy shit, like, I realize now that I would rather be alone than be in a bad relationship. I've never felt that way in my whole life. But for the first time, I actually truly think that I would rather be alone than be in the wrong relationship. And that's a profound turning point for people. Because when you can handle your own loneliness, even though it doesn't always feel amazing, then there's the ability to it, like, it automatically raises your standard for relationship. When you can't handle being alone, you'll be with anyone. And that's a really, really dangerous place to be. And so being able to handle your own loneliness is kind of a prerequisite for creating a really healthy conscious relationship. Now, some practices like, I mean, there are a lot of like spiritual practices in terms of like meditation or breath work or different kinds of somatic practices that I'm not going to go into all of those today. But I'd say like you can explore different practices, explore different types of meditation, hypnosis, guided visualization. All of these things can help to create safety and ease in your body. And that's important, right? Especially when you're feeling lonely, when you're feeling sad, it is important to create safety and ease in your body. But outside of just creating safety and ease in your body, something that you want to do is really fill your life with things that you find meaningful, with things that you're passionate about, right? So that's another thing that I think, like, you might not have the committed romantic connection that you want to have, right? You might not have that committed romantic connection, but what you could have are deep friendships. And yes, those deep friendships aren't going to satisfy every single romantic, intimate need that you have, but it will satisfy a lot of your connection needs. Just having someone to call and talk to when you're lonely can satisfy a lot of connection needs. And so, what we start to do is we start to build strategies in our lives, not that take the place of a romantic relationship, but allow us to deal effectively with the absence of one. So I have great friendships, and when I'm lonely, I can call a friend and they can be there for me. And that can not satisfy all of the needs, but it can satisfy some of them. And it allows me to be okay being without a relationship. I have things that I love and hobbies and passions and things that I invest my energy into that uplift me and inspire me. And because I have those things, it takes away the focus from me always longing for someone or looking at the fact that that person is missing. So these are some ways that you can make the experience of loneliness easier. You can make it more fulfilling. And even to call it loneliness isn't always accurate. These are some ways that you can make the experience of aloneness easier and more fulfilling. And know that part of the journey is going to be that some nights you're all alone in your bed and there's nobody to call and you wish there was a partner there and you feel sad and you feel a loss or you feel a longing. And just know that there are going to be those times, but all you need to do is just be with yourself through it and just feel what you're feeling. Maybe you cry, maybe you hold yourself, maybe you write in your journal. But I think the idea that is somehow wrong to feel that and that we need to fix that, like something's broken, that's a misunderstanding. Separation feels that way sometimes. But that's okay. It's okay to feel that. And by developing our resilience and our ability to feel those things, we become more secure overall. And the more secure we become overall, the more ready we are to attract a secure relationship. So, beautiful question. I want to just invite you to be gentle with yourself. You don't have to do it perfectly. You don't have to do it right. But start with the decision that I will choose to be alone over choosing to be in the wrong relationship. Start with that decision. And then once you make that commitment to yourself and you start to face times of aloneness, you can start to really get comfortable and attuned to all of the different emotional experiences that come with that.